Okay, we're back. So to quickly re-explain what we're doing here for those who didn't see the first part, we are essentially going through all of Dragon Ball and power scaling the series, but as we go, I'm going to give the most extreme interpretations I possibly can for each feeder statement. To give an example, basically, in the Android saga, Android 18 beats up Vegeta. Now, how much stronger was 18 compared to Vegeta? Well, it's hard to tell, as the series stopped using exact power levels by this point. But if we're highballing, we would be as generous as possible and say 18 is like 5 times stronger than Vegeta. On the other hand, if we want to lowball, we'd say 18 is only something like 50% stronger. If you do this sort of thing for every feat or statement in the series, it starts to add up quickly. In the last video, we covered all of the Dragon Ball manga and GT, and since this is a super video, we'll start from the end of Z, where Highball Goku was 10,909,095 times stronger than Lowball Goku. In this video, we're going to cover the manga version of Super, since I think it'll make for a better video on the topic. Now be warned, you might think it's bad now, but Super power scaling is an entirely separate beast. Super starts with Goku image training against past foes, where we see him low diff Perfect Cell. Now I don't actually think Super Saiyan 1 Goku could solo Cell like this in the Buu saga, and granted, it's been a while since the Buu saga ended. So let's say Lowball Goku got 2 times stronger since then, bringing him to 2. On the highball end, let's assume Goku got 5 times stronger in base to reach 54.5 million. After that, we see the reveal of the Super Saiyan God, and we're already diverging significantly. It's important to point out that Goku is never said to absorb the power of the God form in his base, like in the anime version. So, we don't need to deal with that here. However, that doesn't mean things aren't about to get insane, because Goku and Beerus shake the universe. Now, without boring you with stuff like how big a universe is, I'll just tell you, this is a ludicrously large boost, to the tune of like 1 billion times stronger than Super Saiyan 3. However, this is somewhat contentious, since later parts of the story in the manga really don't support the God form being such a massive boost. But logic be damned, we're highballing here. So we could say the highball version is 1 billion times stronger than Super Saiyan 3, while the lowball version is only like 5 times above Super Saiyan 3. Now, I'm not actually going to add this to our score yet though, as I'd like to add all the transformations at the end. But this information will be important going forward. In life, I think it's always good to highball what you want to achieve. Because if you can't even imagine fulfilling your dream, you're never going to strive towards it. In service to that idea, you should subscribe to my channel, because I imagine it would be really neat if we hit 100k subs. After that, Goku and Vegeta do an undefined amount of training with Whis, before spending another 3 years in the time chamber. It's impossible to define the boost they get here, but let's say Lowball got like 50% stronger with Whis, then another 3 times stronger in the time chamber to reach 9. For Highball though, let's say Whis' training is just built different, and they get 10 times stronger. Then let's say they get an additional 30 times stronger from the time chamber. That brings Highball to 16.3 billion. Going into the Universe 6 tournament. Now, while our guys don't get stronger during this tournament, we learned some interesting things here, because after Vegeta gets taken out by Hit, we learn that he lost because he only had access to less than 10% of the blue form's power. Goku goes on to perform better in the God form, meaning the God form is stronger than 10% of the blue form. Due to that, we can infer the blue form is only 5 times stronger than the God form. Going into the next arc, we see Goku Black overpowering Trunks in Super Saiyan 2 in base. That Trunks then goes on to equal Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but despite that, a Vegeta who should be equal to Goku goes on to fight on par with that same Goku Black. All of this is to say, this just seems like an oversight from the writers. Due to that, in the lowball version, we can just ignore all this, as it makes no sense. But for the highball version, we're going to take everything at face value. Logic be damned. So in the previous video, we gave Highball Super Saiyan 2 and 3 10 times multipliers. Due to that, Goku Black is 500 times stronger than Trunks. Then, Trunks is seemingly 10 times stronger than Goku. But Vegeta is equal to that base Goku Black, and Goku scales to that Vegeta. So Goku gets 5,000 times stronger here for no reason, for 81.8 trillion. That might seem like a lot, but it's nothing compared to what comes next. So, it's genuinely confusing if Goku Black is using Super Saiyan 1 or 2, because he has the Super Saiyan 1 hair, but the Super Saiyan 2 electricity. I generally lean towards it being Super Saiyan 2 though. That Goku Black then gets a Zenkai boost, the Saiyan power to get a power boost after a near-death experience. And in the same scene, it's mentioned Goku and Vegeta don't get them anymore. That Zenkai is so massive that it makes Goku Black stronger than Blue Vegeta. But on top of that, Goku Black then goes into his Rosé form. That's explained to be his equivalent to Super Saiyan Blue. After his defeat, Vegeta trains for a year in the Time Chamber, and afterwards, even Vegeta's God form is seemingly comparable to Goku Black in Rosé. But what does this have to do with Goku? Well, it shouldn't, since Goku doesn't train like Vegeta does here. But despite that, for literally no reason at all, Goku will go on to be comparable to Vegeta in the next arc. So, Super Goku scales to Vegeta here. Now in the low ball version, Super Saiyan 3 is 4 times stronger, with the God form being 5 times above that, and the blue form being another 5 times. All of that would mean Goku Black got 100 times stronger from this Zenkai. Then, he goes into his Rosé form, stacking another 100 times, and since Vegeta's God form is comparable, so is Goku's. So after one more 5 times, Goku got 50,000 times stronger to reach 450,000. Meanwhile, in the Highball version, we stack Super Saiyan 3's 10 times with God's 1 billion times boost. Yeah, that's right. This is where we go full nonsense mode. Then stack another 5 times for Blue. Oh, and then Goku Black goes Rosé for another 50 billion times boost. After the last 5 times, that means Goku gets 12.5 sextillion times stronger, for a total of 1 undecillion. We're still talking about Goku's base form, by the way. So, things have gotten pretty out of hand. At this point, Highball Goku is 2.2 nonillion times stronger than Lowball Goku. So we can just reset Lowball Goku to 1 and Highball to 2.2 nonillion. Now, before I get like a billion comments about it, while the anime version of Dragon Ball Super has Vegeta say Saiyans get stronger while fighting, the manga never says nor even implies that to be the case. So unless it's specified, or there's a time skip, we can just assume Goku hasn't gotten any stronger. No base form boosts in the Tournament of Power, just form stuff that we'll cover later. Let's get into Moro, in which Goku still doesn't really get any stronger for most of the arc, until eventually, Goku trains for 2 months with Miras to master Ultra Instinct. When he returns, we see him able to overpower Sagambo, who was previously overpowering Gohan. In the Tournament of Power, Gohan was able to fight on par with Kefla, and Kale, one of Kefla's components, was seemingly equal to Blue Goku. Starting with our low ball, Kale is significantly stronger than Caulifla, like by a lot. Kale is over 50 times stronger than Caulifla, base to base. Due to the gap being so drastic, I'll say that Protara Fusion wasn't that big of a boost above Kale. Let's say like 10 times. That puts Kefla 10 times above Goku, and Gohan is equal to that. So for Goku to overwhelm Sagambo like this means he literally got around 20 times stronger in the low ball version. Back with Highball though, instead of assuming Kefla's fusion was weaker than average, we're just going to take it at face value. In the Broly movie, Gogeta is stronger than Blue Goku in base. That means fusion is stronger than a Super Saiyan Blue level boost. How strong is that Blue level boost? Well, I'll explain all of that at the end. So here I'll just tell you it's a 250 quadrillion times multiplier, but base Gogeta was even stronger, so let's say 300 quadrillion. After that, Goku surpasses the Gohan who was previously 300 quadrillion times stronger than him, so Goku gets, let's say another 10 times stronger than even that, meaning Highball Goku gets 3 quintillion times stronger from his training with Miras, bringing his total to 6.8 quindecillion. That leads into the Granola arc, which takes place a few months later. That's not very long, so let's say Lowball Goku got 20% stronger to reach 24, while Highball Goku's been on that hard grind for another 10 times for 68 quindecillion. Goku doesn't really get any base form gains during this arc, but we need to talk about Goku's emotion boost power-up. In order to surpass Gas, we see Goku tap into the same power previously used by his father. It's actually kind of vague if this is a permanent boost or a temporary amp, but I'm kinda leaning towards it being temporary and dependent on the situation. We then jump an entire 2 years forward for Super Hero, in which we see both Goku and Vegeta seemingly fighting on par with base Broly. As there's no manga Broly arc to go off of, we're gonna assume the events of the Broly movie happened here. Broly with only a 10 times Ozaru boost forced Goku to go into his blue form. If we say Blue Goku is double Akari Broly, then base Broly is 20 times weaker than Blue Goku, meaning our base Goku here needs to be at least stronger than that. While Highball Goku is already way stronger than that, due to the last few gains, Lowball Goku has only got like 24 times stronger since the events of the movie. If base Goku has reached Broly's level here, we gotta scale up Lowball Goku's base to 20 times below his Broly movie Blue level. So, I guess we can start going over our Lowball transformation multipliers. Super Saiyan is 50 times, Super Saiyan 2 is 2 times that, Super Saiyan 3 is 4 times above Super Saiyan 2, and God was 5 times stronger than 3. Blue was originally only 5 times stronger than God, but in the Goku Black arc, Goku mastered the Blue form, and since Blue was described as just stacking Super Saiyan on top of God, I like to say Perfected Blue just restored the original 50 times multiplier. So in total, Blue is a 100,000 times multiplier. Base Broly was 20 times weaker than that, but he's probably got stronger since, so let's say 10 times weaker instead. That would mean between the Granola arc and now, Goku went from 24 to 240,000, meaning Lowball Goku got 10,000 times stronger. Now Highball Goku doesn't actually need to get any stronger here at all, but it doesn't sit right with me for Lowball to get a big boost while Highball doesn't. So if Lowball got a measly 10,000 times stronger, Highball probably got 100,000 times stronger over the last 2 years, reaching 6.8 septendecillion. Alright, let's compress our numbers again. So if Lowball Goku is a 1, Highball Goku is 28.4 sextillion times stronger than Lowball Goku. But even then, we're not quite done yet. We still gotta go through all the transformations. We already started going through Lowball Goku's forms a minute ago, so let's keep going. Perfected Blue was 100,000 times stronger than base. Next, we get the manga's weird pseudo Kaioken Blue, where he basically uses the Kaioken, but with none of the cool red aura. Since this is a Lowball, we're just gonna assume it was a Kaioken times 2, and following that, we get the first appearance of Ultra Instinct. It's kind of hard to quantify how much stronger Ultra Instinct is. Evolution Vegeta gets low diffed by Jiren, and even the Omen form of Ultra Instinct never really lands a solid hit on Jiren. But then the True form is clearly on par with him, so you might think it's a massive jump from Omen to True form. But then in the Granola arc, we see Goku is able to stack an emotion boost on top of the Omen form, which lets the Omen form become stronger than the True form. All that is to say, I'll put the Omen form at like 2 times Pseudo Kaioken Blue, then let's put the True form 5 times above that. But then instead of that 5 times boost, in the Granola arc, let's say his emotions boost was 10 times, and that's the last time we see him go all out. In the last 3 chapters, we see Goku fight Gohan with the silver-haired form, and that is a few years later, but Goku isn't really going all out, so it's unclear if he's somehow made the silver form stronger since. All of that means Lowball Goku gets 2 million times stronger in the silver form, but peaks out at 4 million in the Omen form with emotions. Alright, Highball time. So in the first video, we covered the first few forms. So 50 times for Super Saiyan, 10 times for both Super Saiyan 2 and 3 each, then an entire billion for the God form. That's followed by 50 times for Perfected Blue, putting Highball Goku at 250 quadrillion. We'll assume Pseudo Kaioken Blue is 20 times, just like in the anime. Following that, there's a bit of an extreme hiccup. Earlier, we assumed Kefla's fusion was just as strong as Gogeta in the Broly movie. If that was the case, Kefla scales massively above Goku and Jiren here, and I'm pretty sure the narrative implication in the story is that Jiren is stronger than Kefla, meaning we need to scale Jiren and UI Goku by extension. Way up. Like I previously mentioned, Kale was already at least on par with Perfected Blue Goku, but then gets a 300 quadrillion times boost as Kefla. That means UI Omen literally needs to be at least that strong. So if we say Omen is 350 quadrillion times above Blue level, that puts it at 87.5 decillion times base. After that, since True UI is a weaker boost than Bardock's emotion boost, I don't think Omen to the True form is a massive boost, so let's just stick to 5 times for Silver UI and 10 times for the emotion boosted Omen. That makes Goku's emotion boosted Omen form 875 decillion times base. So after applying the multiplier, Super Goku's final level is 24.8 octovigintillion, which I believe is the largest number I've ever used before. With that, we'll round down one more time, meaning if Lowball Super Goku in his strongest form is a 1, Highball Super Goku is 6.2 sexvigintillion times stronger. That's how big of a gap there is if you try and overestimate every feat from the start of Dragon Ball to the end of Super. Now to a certain degree, the entire point of these videos was to point out how silly some people look when they unironically try and highball every feat in the series. I don't believe for a second that anyone on the Super writing team ever intended for a character to get a billion times stronger at any point. This really goes to show how out of hand the story can get if you don't take the time to keep things consistent. Everyone suddenly getting a billion times stronger out of nowhere every 5 minutes reaches a point of nonsense very fast. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.